48557. Like, I mean, I don't remember which one is that, but you see,
So they okay.
so you see the question? You get the question?
Yes, yes. So basically you opportunity split that by new line character. After that,
Right. So
so,
for me,
so it's kind
the
of
output,
two-way, 2D array.
it's I don't know what is that now. Okay,
Mm.
so that's why I need training, right? So you see what I'm lacking, where I'm lacking. I maybe right.
So
Uh,
what do you find out here? What do you want to get?
so I want to know. I mean, now we have in this case, we can see there are three switches, right?
Uh,
And right,
yeah,
three switch one, switch two, switch three, right?
yes,
And switch one has the one, two, three, four ports, right? And
yes.
switch 2 has one or two ports, and again switch 3 has one and two ports.
Mm.
So I want to get the output. If you see this line,
Yeah, yeah,
first line, it
yeah.
says host, port, input, port.
Yes.
So see, the interviewer asked me, okay, choose any one, input BPS or output BPS, and get me the output to, with the values like, to start with the highest
Mm.
utilization and all the way to the lowest in descending order.
Okay.
And you have to tell me which port is the busy. TE02 port is busy, 3 port is, and if that port belongs to which switch. So the way I was trying to build an output
Mm.
is like this, uh, TE uh, 02, just example, okay?
Yeah.
And something like the something like something like this. You see that?
Yeah. Mm.
So it says switch 01. For example, the 84, all this big number is the highest one. So I will say it switch 1 has the TE02, and that has the highest input or output. And it will descend.
Mm.
It will give me this output in the descending order, like from the highest to the lowest.
Yeah. So basically, if you want only highest and lowest, there's only
No, no, no.
113 required. So it
We
basically
want highest to the lowest. I mean,
okay. So
descend
the
in the
sorting.
descending order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorting. Yeah.
Yeah. That
So
it is sort basically. Yeah.
I was able to do that, but
Mm.
I was not able to draft that the output, like switch one
Mm.
having list of elements. I didn't know that
Yeah. So
because
you
that guy was not just asking me just go for TE02 with the input value, but also which switch it belongs to. Now each set of information has three kind of elements, right? The switch name, the port name, and the output name.
no, I got your point. So basically,
Hmm.
in that case, what to do if they want any kind of filtering, like they want a particular key, like they want anything on that particular basis or any
Hmm.
key basis,
Right.
or you want
Right.
particular data. So one way, like if they want data, then we can get history. We can get a dictionary. We create the
Mm-hmm.
value and pick any one value and make the dictionary
Mm-hmm.
based on the dictionary data. Based on that key, we then give the value for that. If they want
Right.
particular that way. If they want sorted output, like in ordering, like based on
Right.
particular key, particular column. So in that
Then
basis, we
dictionary will not do.
yeah
It will not do the ordered list.
yeah. So in that case, what do you do? We first create the list of this. We break
Hmm.
by new line character. So after broke
Right. Right.
breaking, we split by the comma. So after
I mean,
splitting by
yeah.
comma, we get a list of
Hmm.
array, list of items
Right.
in
In
line.
each line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now what we do? Now we So either one way, like we can use sort function which you already having in Python.
I did that, and I was able to get the output. For example,
Mm,
least, for example, I was simply checking the
mm,
the third index,
mm,
right? So which one is the
yeah.
first one, and second TE, and third index.
Mm,
And I grab all those all these elements in a one list,
mm.
and I did the sort. But it was
Yeah.
not matching. It was not mapping with the which switch and which port is coming out from. So that's where I lost.
Yeah.
And
So in that case, basically, you should having the key like these. So you need to make a dictionary basically. A dictionary based on the key switches. Like so, when one dictionary will
hmm,
come switch one,
hmm,
next dictionary will come. So each dictionary having the record of their own switch port on data. So
hmm, okay,
these all four will come into one dictionary item.
hmm,
These two will come one dictionary having the key. So
hmm.
it will look so
Three.
dictionary, yeah. So dictionary key will be switch one. No, you can do only one in one only. Like switch one हो
Okay.
जाएगा. Then you having this switch two and three. So
Mm-hmm.
each having the list here. And usually nested list. So list one so you have two is showing two list. It having the full four data list. So this way you can take it like this way.
Hmm.
So so now so switch one having four item. It having two item, and switch three also having two item. So this way you get a number of item. After that you can do sort on these switches. So you can sort these four. You can sort these four because these are a list. So you can get sorted list of each switches. So you can get record of each switches based on as like they can ask.
So these four empty lists in case of switch one.
Mm,
First list. What? So we know there are four outputs of the switch. That's why we are
yeah.
creating four empty lists.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can
So
always check that how
yeah.
many
Yeah. So we do
first.
it. So we do iterate that. So we iterate using a for loop. So first we
Mm-hmm.
split by new line character. So
Mm-hmm.
we get array of lines. One, two, three, four,
Hmm.
five. You will get array. Then we use for
Right.
loop. Using for loop,
Mm-hmm.
we iterate one by one line and we do split by comma. So after splitting, we get zero index, and we can add zero index into as a key of dictionary. So when it match, it do push into the existing. So we can check if it already exists or not. If the switch key exists, then we'll already push into the dictionary
Mm-hmm.
array. If we're not there, then so we will do this question once we reach over the
Yeah. Right.
on
Right. Right.
that position.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not asking solutions,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm asking the kind of
So this is
uh,
this is not nice. This is not easy. Like we just make. So you need to make first like these as a key. You generate the dictionary here
hmm.
for each switch. So once
Right. So
the dictionary generated, you can like easily solve.
yeah. We can do that later. I mean, once we go through the basics and when
Yeah.
how to
Mhm.
design the data,
Yes. So
what kind of data structure should I be using? What kind of
yes.
data type should I be using for the what
Yeah.
kind?
So basically,
I think that is.
so whatever the column they picking, they asking the question regarding that column. You can take that column
Mm,
and create the dictionary. So for each column, you have having for like if you want to sort by if you want to get the data based on this based on the port column, you can make a
mm-hmm,
dictionary which having the port one having the all the item which do make the having the port one and all the
mm-hmm.
items port two, all the items port three, all the
Right.
items port. So that's how
Sure.
you get a counting of that how many items we have in the port one.
Mm-hmm.
So that like
Yeah.
so that
I
do
mean, I think there are different ways, but
yeah
once we go through the basics, maybe we can touch this
yeah there
at
are
the end,
multiple ways
right?
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to distract from our
Yeah.
course pattern, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay.
Mm.
Hmm.
And
So I think, at the same time, while we go through the course, the
Yeah,
kind of problems I will go through, not problems,
yeah,
but problem set I will do, and you can teach me
yeah,
what is the right way to, approach the problem.
yeah, sure,
So
yeah,
I
we
think,
can,
yeah, I'll
yeah,
do the practice and
mm,
all that, and so I think you will be able to provide me the problem set, right?
yeah, yeah, I have, yes,
Mm. Okay,
based on like,
okay, mm. Okay. Let's
mm,
get back to our, normal track.
yeah. So we talk about the literals that we having in the in Python. So basically, literal
Mm-hmm.
actually a kind of like it can be keyword, it can be like uh, way to define the like any kind of keyword that we use, like none keyword we use, and way to define the different kind of mm, data on the defining the data, and you can put the different conditions. So to define checks, like you can if you want to put a comparison on like true and so and you can so all the numbers are
What?
all the numbers are considered. So if you have any value, so your value is considered as a so we so in binary basically we consider binary one is as true and we consider
Mm-hmm.
zero as a false.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Two is not true because it
Hmm.
should be one.
Yeah, if you take zero, so zero is considered as a false because in binary, so it do basically used to convert based on value. It do convert into the that radix. If you add one, so it do convert into the radix of that. The try to convert one into the into boolean. So boolean of one
Hmm.
is true and boolean
Mm-hmm.
of zero is false.
Right.
Hmm. So
Right. So when we say literal means we are actually using we are not using any
L-
we are
li-
not calculating comparing using any variable
no
but direct values.
literal basically the value that we assign to a particular to a variables.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can assign a
Okay.
string. How we assign a string?
Mm.
We can use the curly braces to define. So these are called literals. The way to assigning a value, the value. Like you have like you have boolean. So in boolean having only two literal. One is true,
Right.
other is false. No other value you can assign
Right.
to a boolean. So they
Right.
boolean type. So these are we call. So each type of data having some sort of literals. Like none basically denote the not in data, no data, and so same way like you can having the dictionary and we to define the dictionary we use a curly braces, we use square bracket. So we use square bracket for defining the list. So so for list we using this. So this is the literal for defining a list. So it is basically a denote kind of way to define a data set.
Right.
So this way
Right.
we can define. So this is literal for the list. We have literal for set. We have literals for tuple. So this way we define the tuple. This way we define set. So they are like literals. We can say.
So these bracket pair is called literal.
Yeah.
That is
Basically, yeah, literals consider the possible values like the way we defining it.
the way we defining it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way and the value, what value it can add.
Mm-hmm.
So in list you have like you having the tuples, you having the dictionary, you having the set.
Right. Right.
So in basically list we can like having the data which can be modifiable. So
Mm-hmm.
so you know the difference and difference between list and tuples. So whatever that the data we do have in the list that we can modify it, then we can change that basically. So if you're defining any data in the list ABC, yeah, so you can modify this data in this list.
Right.
I define this data. I can
Mm-hmm.
change further. So I like. in the, you can say, if you print the, let's say, add more values here, okay, and we can print it. Eh, it have two values, right? So here, if you want to change this, so where is it? So if you want to get this value to a geo index, so it will give the one value. Now, mm, 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 देख रहा, so we can add more data into the list, like giving another list like b equal to like, like this kind of, so we can like join this list, mm, a plus b, so you can see, so we combine both literals,
Hmm.
like we join both. So like, so we already seen like the way to defining the tuple and we to defining the sets, how we define the like set,
Right.
right? So we using the curly braces,
Hmm.
so
Right.
and we use a comma for that, separating the items. So this is like, yeah. Then after that, we come over the operators. So we having different operators over the like into the Python. So in Python,
Hmm.
basically, like we use plus. So if so, when like we perform all the number like addition, subtraction, and like
Hmm.
modulus, and like we take the mod of the values, and so that we call arithmetic operator,
Right.
like division. These are like arithmetic operation that we perform on the numbers. Other is like when we comparing any values, two values or two numbers, any object or like any variables. So there we use comparison operator. We already know like these are, you can see this is a comparison operator,
Hmm.
double equal.
Right.
It doing the true and false. So it comparing both values. The other we already seen the assignment operator. So this is called assignment operator. Assigning the
Right.
value.
Hmm.
So for comparison, there can be like many kind of like comparisons, like greater than, equal, not equal. So like having the, so this is like for equal, this for not equal, this for greater than or equal to, this for less than or equal to less than, greater than, and we can use greater than only, less than only. So these are basic comparison. Then we already know the assignment. So assignment, basically this is the assignment operator, and like if you iterating any value, same variable, they can use like this way the assignment operator. And if you're subtracting, you can also this way you can assign. So this basically kind of we write like a equal to a minus 1. So the short way we write this one, it can be a minus b. So
Right.
so this is basically we can use. So same way for multiplication we can use this way. For modulus we can use this. So these are like the operator that we use for assignment. We assigning the value of a variable or updating a value for the variable, that we call assignment operator. So other type of operator we can say bitwise. So bitwise basically operator to perform over the bit operation. So what it do, like as you know numbers like 0 0 1 2 1 1. So the operation we do perform on this, that called bitwise, because they first convert into binary, then to check that. So the operation that we perform in the binary, like XOR and maybe XOR operator, and some like an AND operator,
And or nor, yes.
yeah, or and so these are basically the operation perform all the binary numbers. So binary form of the data, like negation operator, like shifting, we do shift the bits from one to left and right. So these are operations that we perform on the over the binary
Hmm.
values. So that's why we call bitwise, because first they convert your data into the bits, into bit format, by binary numbers. After that, they perform that. And like and odds or negation. So these are basically the operations we need to perform on the bits. Then we come over the logical operator. So logical operator we use like when we perform two or more conditions, like A equal to B, and A equal
Right.
to C. So, here we use and, like, yeah, and or we can use or. So these are like logical operator or not.
Right.
So these are basically uh, we use in our conditions. So that's why we call logical operator, because they they get composition of the string of the comparison. So they come up with your assignment operators and comparison operators.
Right.
Then other way, that we use with the object, like, is this a key belong to a particular object or not. So we use in or not
Right. Yes.
in, or you can say this key is present in the object or not in. And the same way, like, when we check the type of that, so each type is matching or not. So we evaluate that it is true based on the present, or it belong to the same object or not. So we can check the, like, element is belong to a certain class or type. So there we use each and or is not. And other way,
Right.
like, we using, like, so majorly these are majorly we use the operator that we available in the Python that we generally
Right.
use. And rest is, I think we say. So normally these are the function operator we use with a code and in a programming.
Right.
And then we can see the comments. So in for regarding the comments, so we really like, so comment basically we define, like, to improve the readability of the code. So whenever
Right.
we write code, we de- we define comment. So why we writing the code in such a way? What the logic we writing? So we use which comment we describe in the comment. So that's why in future, if anybody come into your place, or any new developer will hire, so he got to know why we written the code in such a way, what the logic using in the code. So that's why comments are important part.
Hmm.
But if your application is very big, it is getting very difficult to understand and read, because you cannot read each and every file for new guy.
Right.
And
Right.
if you're writing the code one day or 2 day, you came after 5 day, or 1 week or 2 week, you will not remember why we written this code, right?
Yes.
So
That's right.
you can't remember the code basically. You only remember the logic. So, and the logic you should define by comments, or the, like, using some hint, or you should, like, so based on your, like, your thoughts, we generally use comments. So we generally use like this way, slash, uh, so sorry, so using hash operator and define the comment this way. So
Hmm.
so so this is like, before, like, writing a function, you can define the comments on the function. And if you want to use a multi-line comment, you can even define multiple. hashes over that. Apart from that, if you define like the comment or the multi-line, so you can define three dot and mm, generally we write inside this. Mm, mm, mm. So we can define the comments like this. Yes. But this will not take nothing one second. So we can like also define the comment like using triple quotes. Here we can define the string. So this is we say like multi-line comments, but like but in some cases I saw it is not supported over the I think different version of the I think 2.6 or 6 I think these are giving not supporting earlier. But we can use the triple quotes for defining multi-line comment. So
Right.
so we can
Yeah,
define like
that's what I was. That's what I was trying to use in the past,
yeah
but I didn't know that we can also use it as a string. But yeah.
yes. So when
Hmm.
so this is kind like was assignment. So here we're not doing any assignment. So
Right.
you can simply define in your functions. So when you define any
Hmm.
function, before defining function or inside a function, you can define the comments. So we
Right.
so we can like define the like, function like def and function name like test, and after that you can here you can define some sort of comment, or you can define before that why we using this function. You can define some reason. So that way like you can add the comment. And yeah, so we comment is an essential part like if you want to improve the readability of the code and your program. Then we come over like defining the conditions. So we can use conditional statement if else and uh, if else. So like let's come on this yeah. So we using the conditional statement into the Python. So we use if and else conditions to define the uh, like condition inside that.
Right.
Like so like we can define if, and in the if we can add your expression. So you can make like if a equal to 10, right? So you can like print something condition is true. Like this way. Mm. So so you can like define the conditions here, but
Right.
a is here we're not setting the value of a. So we can set the value a here. Equal to 10. Okay, so they do check the so condition is true. So it check this is expression we define here. If this is give true, and it will print the value, and if it is
Hmm.
false, it do not print the value. So this is a simple if condition. You can add more conditional statement here, more like more logical statements like greater than 10 and and less than 10. And
Right.
so this is like so if you change 20, so it will not print this. So in that case, what you do? you define else condition here. Like if you, so in the else condition, you can print mm, you can say condition field simply like this. So one is if, other is else. So it is not, so else is optional. If you want, you can add. If you don't want, no need to add.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not mandatory. But if it is like multiple cases, you can add multiple like conditions, and else if, else if, and you can add more like equal to 15. Condition, condition field, condition past for 15. So it's the same way you can do the multiple checks using else if.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Equal to 20.
I think JavaScript has else if, right? Complete.
Yeah.
They don't do
So,
else if. Okay.
mhm. So condition is passed for 20. So that's why basically you can add multiple checks and see you can this passed.
Hmm.
So multiple checks you can add for or your expression.
Right.
So generally you see in such cases, in switches we adding the multiple cases like case one, case two, case three. So that same you can achieve with the this nested conditions. And so these are there we can like define the different expression that you want to make it. You want to you want to perform your task based on when any condition match, so that you can like call a function inside that for all the different conditions. So
Right.
if any condition, any one condition passed, then it will not go into any other condition. So it will check which is first one matching. So it will go
Right.
from top to bottom and check which is matched. It will go inside there. Otherwise, it will not go. So it will not execute all the cases. It will execute only one which is matched.
Hmm.
And then we talk about the loop. So we generally having the loop in all the languages, like using for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So these are loops available across the all the programming, either using Java, JavaScript, .NET. So any programming language you will take, you will find these loops for. So one is like you can say for, while, and do while. It's available in all the programming languages. So for
Hmm.
basically it do use to iterate. So these all basically are used for iteration, to iterate the to iterate your list, and to iterate the range. If you're having any range, you can iterate
Mm-hmm.
that. If you're having the string, you can iterate the string and print each character. And so if you having the any uh, you can say if you having any list, so you can add the for loop in the list, and you can print the all the element of the list. If you're having any range, you can print
Right.
the range. So you can see so you can see how do we print any string, like is the list one, and change sort of values like ABC and uh, 10, 10, test. Like this is your list, and you want to print each and every element of this list. So you simply add the for loop, and mm, so it will basically you can say, so it will take the list which we giving here, and after that you will get that value I, and you can add print statement, and you can print. and so it will run it. So and giving for in sorry, it's a list one variable name is now. So you can see all the values which you having in the list. You will so you can get the values on the list which you are iterating, right?
Right.
So same way like uh, so this is basically we can get the element of the list, and same if you want to iterate any string, so you can make any string. You can make as a string Python test. Okay, now you can add list and you can print it even all the characters test separately.
Hmm.
So that way we can iterate list and your what is it? Yeah, this list and string characters you can get. So it will it will execute till the your element will your list will having the element. So you do iterate one element one by one, and you can
Hmm.
print that. And if you want to update any your list, that you can also do in for loop. So it basically use for iteration. You can get the one by one element from your list or string. The
Hmm.
rest is up to you. You want to what you want to perform using that list.
Right.
So there are, so one is more like if you want to uh, so if you want don't have any list and you want to like run any loop for 5 times or 10 times, so you can the
Hmm.
function range function that we use. So you can pass you want to run your you do from the 5 times. So you want to run your loop from 5 times. So you simply like run the loop. Use the range function. In range, you can pass the 0 to 5. I want to run it. You can execute that. So it will print. So this will run loop will run from 5 times.
Okay. Is there a way we can run the test 5 times for 5 times? For example, let's say test, 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 test.
Mm, so you can make a nested function that you can want.
In
Like you
that
can
case, we have to do. Hmm.
like if you want to like you can build nested function like for here j and list
Okay.
one, and after that you can this one and you can j. So you can see tested printing 5 times.
Right. Right. Okay.
So this is like nested. You can run it.
Hmm. But that range function itself doesn't provide such capability, right? We have to do nested only.
No range basically will give you kind of way like assume it will give you only the list you can say zero to
Number of
four.
times you're
It
supposed to
basically
run.
range basically give you a list simply
Hmm.
0 to 5, 0 to 4. Now you can like
Right.
iterate that list that times.
Hmm.
That's only.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Mm. So I think this is like mm, enough for today. So tomorrow like
Hmm.
we'll see more into loop, while loop and the further about the strings operation and
Hmm.
the break statement, continue statement, and methods.
Sure.
How do we create methods and perform the operation on the list and tuples,
Right.
and some more the
Sure.
dictionary part also. Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay. So
right.
if you
So,
have any doubt, you can ask. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, along with this, you'll be also be able to help me with the bash scripting, right?
Uh, yeah, I can help our
With the,
best scripting as well.
okay, okay.
But first like we do convert this part also, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll
We
do this. I'm just,
we go step by step, right?
right, right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, later after this
Yes.
whole thing is
Yeah.
done, then.
Sure. Yeah, that is
Yep.
yeah we can do.
Okay, okay, cool.
Okay.
Sure, I think it was good for today.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. I mean, let me know whenever you want to sync up tomorrow, and
So when you what time
we
you
can.
generally available? Morning,
I
evening.
mean, tomorrow is Sunday, so morning. I prefer morning. Around same time like today
Okay.
or later. I mean,
So we can do early if possible.
sure. Yeah.
Today we get
That's
late, right?
mm-hmm.